Good morning. This morning I am delighted to have Marsha Collins-Mroz to talk with us today. She has an interesting take on real estate. It's not very centric to Illinois, and that's what I think we're going to talk about today. So Marsha, do you want to introduce yourself and tell how you became an international realtor?
Right. I'll be glad to. And thank you for inviting me
You're welcome.
To be a part of this series that you're doing here at NASBAR. So I had my license for about 20 plus years, maybe even 27. Had no idea, blinders on, selling real estate in Illinois, because that's where I was licensed. And one day I go to Florida with a friend, and we decide we want to buy a lot of real estate. We love the Naples, Marco Island area. And when we tried to do referrals with the brokers of those new developments, they said, no, buyers are like buses. One comes along every 5 minutes. We don't need to pay referrals. So being the stubborn Scottish person that I am, and German, some of my background, I said, oh no, this bus is stopping at the local class and I'm getting my license. And that's what my girlfriend and I did. We fast-tracked. So licensed in Illinois, licensed in Florida. It's all going great. Go to Miami for a big conference, and Teresa King-Kinney, the CEO of Miami Association of Realtors, amazing. She does a global congress every year. And the light bulb moment, oh my God, there's this thing called global real estate. So I started taking a few CIPS courses. That's a Certified International Property Specialist program. Really important. I'll explain why you want to put that before the new process of doing business, or I should say the niche of doing business. So fast track. I understand that this exists. I'm all excited. We go into a bit of a crash, housing crash, and I get a call from a lovely lady who happens to be from China. And she says, I want to see real estate. I'm back in Illinois now, And I said, oh, okay. What are you looking for? Well, we want to fix up property. Okay. I'm not busy at this time. I immediately take her out that afternoon. Her cousin's with her, who happens to be a developer in China, a very successful developer. And as we get to talking, I say, I'm also licensed in Florida, and there's a lot of opportunity to pick up land at bargain prices because so many developers walked away. Okay, so they buy a large tract of commercial property. It was actually a marina in Florida from me, and that was a really exciting moment, right? Now I'm down at NAR for the first time in almost 30 years in real estate. I'm invited down to NAR to meet the visiting delegation from Poland. And while I'm there, I happen to ask, do you have any literature in Mandarin about the process of buying and selling real estate in the United States, because I'm going to China? Next thing I know, they said, wait a minute, just wait here a minute. I thought, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong?
Something bad has happened.
Right.
Yes.
What did I do? Turns out that NAR, they were trying to make inroads in China and create those international realtor relationships, and it just wasn't happening. And when they heard somebody was just out there doing it on their own, they invited me to immediately come and speak at NAR in Orlando. I'd never been to an NAR conference.
And now you're a speaker. That was very cool.
24,000 people at this event.
Very cool.
Oh, very cool. So what did that do for me? It put me in the spotlight, certainly. I made more connections. I realized that this really was a thing even more so than ever before. Mm-hmm. I got involved. I immediately signed up I finished my CIPS courses. I got involved at NAR at the level of global, anything global. I volunteered for committees and advisory boards. I also volunteered at the state and local associations with their global committees so that I could get as deeply rooted as possible. And today this brings me to the point where I'm marketing properties in Vietnam, Greece. Greece is one of my loves. I was the global ambassador, in those days we were called NAR's President's Liaison to Greece for 3 years. So had amazing experiences there. So Greece, Vietnam, I'm trying to think, where else am I marketing property right now? It's on the tip of my tongue. Well, I'll think about it as we go further into it. UK. How about this? I'll look at my notes. Isn't that something? In Mexico. and Mexico.
Okay.
So those are the current countries where I've been asked by developers or brokers to co-broke with them on developments in those countries, which gives me the opportunity to go to those countries.
Go to those companies.
And
Countries, rather.
exactly. And especially in Asia, that's really, Asia and Africa are the hot spots right now throughout the real estate industry, globally, that is.
So let me understand. So they have property there that you're marketing in the United States, or the other way around?
Yeah. Actually, it could be both ways.
Okay.
Many times they're divesting out of their properties in other countries, and they want help. I helped a very good family friend now, because I don't just get involved with you for a real estate deal.
Right.
We're friends for life. So they were actually retiring back to Greece. So I helped them divest out of all their U.S. Properties, and then, get the monies transferred to Greece, where they ultimately retired. So,
Okay.
yeah, but amazing opportunities. Then from there, I learned about something called FIAPSI. Have you heard of FIAPSI?
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm going to tell you. In fact, I've got their button on today. I proudly wear the FIAPSI button and the President's Circle button, by the way, as an advocate for governmental regulations that promote homeowner interest and personal property rights. Okay, so FIAPSI is the World Federation of Real Estate. It was actually started at the end of the war when Europe was in tatters, and they needed help really designing and carving up and creating these private property rights in those countries that were so severely affected by war. And you know that war was not just the First World War and the Second World War. We have wars, unfortunately, and conflicts
everywhere
throughout the world and throughout history, right? So FIAPSI continues to exist. We have we're the only association that has a consultative status with the with UN, and we speak on housing security throughout the world. We're in 70 countries, and it's a very high level for anything and everything related to real estate. And I'm very proud to be on the U.S. There's chapters in 70 plus countries. On the U.S. board, I am one of their directors, and on the international board, I am a vice president of their conferences and events. And we're getting ready, actually, in beginning of November. Well, let's see, NAR is in November. Yeah, November. In beginning of November, we will be in Barcelona, Spain. That'll be our next trip. So we go all over the world. And that's what I really love, because I get that deeper dive, and it helps me make those connections, so that when I say I have global partners in these other countries, I do, because you go, and you do need to go. But learn from my mistakes. Don't try to eat the elephant all in one bite. Figure out where your passion is. Where's your business coming from? Are you doing business with a certain cultural group? Maybe that's where you start. And understand that you're already doing international real estate. If you sold to anybody from another country, which every realtor I dare say has at some point, you're already doing international real estate. We call it global now. Once it was called international.
Now it's global.
It'll all have different buzz names, buzzwords, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, there's opportunity out there. But as I said, don't make the same mistakes I did. Learn the cultural sensitivities of these different groups.
Where did you learn that?
Well, I learned it through CIPS, through the Certified International Property Specialist. I also learned it by putting my foot in my mouth. I'm going to share a short story. I have an amazing group of clients at restaurants, building houses, just all kinds of great things. And they own an Italian restaurant, a very popular Italian restaurant. So it's Christmas time, and I decide I am going to take wreaths, and I'm going to really, bedazzle them, and I'm going to deliver these beautiful, fresh wreaths to these folks. And they said, "Oh, thank you so much. Please share this with somebody who celebrates this holiday." Do you think I remembered at one of the closings there was a comment of, "Oh, yeah, no coffee, no water. No, we're actually observing Ramadan." Did I put that together? But I didn't even know what I didn't know at that time.
I don't feel bad. The first time that I ever booked training up in Highland Park, this would have been almost 30 years ago, someone said to me, because they were very kind and generous to me, they said, "You do understand, this is the Jewish high holidays."
Oh, no.
No, this poor little Catholic girl really didn't understand that. I'm so sorry. It is not a mistake I will make again.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But so I learned from this program, and I learned that there are sources for there's resources out there. So you need to be the source of the resources. And one of the best, the Bible, the Holy Grail, besides the CIPS manual that you'll certainly have to refer back to, and they update that constantly. Kiss, bow, and shake hands.
I've read that.
Go to that book, and I'm trying to remember the author's name right now.
I can't remember.
It escapes
what it
my
is.
name.
Yeah.
But that is that's the Holy Grail. I go to that whenever I'm dealing with maybe a new culture, or just to remind me, in certain cultures, you think that grandma's just sitting there in the background. Grandma's making the decisions. You get close and get right with grandma.
Well, one of the things I remembered is, you hand me your card and I stick it in my pocket.
No.
Not in Japan, you don't.
Oh,
you
no.
honor the card. You put it in you treat it very gently and very respectfully.
And you never write on it.
And you never write on
No.
it. Yes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are things that we do here that were gestures that are A-okay, and in other countries they are not. No. So I think that's great advice, is to go and do that first, to look first before you
leave. Yeah. Luckily, I've had a lot of forgiving clients over the years.
I find that people are forgiving. They really don't think you're trying to be mean to them.
No, no.
So I'm always grateful when they tell me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And that first experience at NAR, speaking on the subject matter, my knees were knocking, and they said, "Okay, do you want to step up to the podium?" No, because these esteemed speakers with these degrees as long as my arm were getting up. The founder of Alibaba, which is a big deal. That's basic, right? He's sitting next to me, and like, oh my God, conversation. Okay, so are you familiar? Yeah, I went to school. Well, here. Oh, where'd you go to school? In Indiana University. My daughter's at Indiana University.
Nice.
So when
There's
I'm in
always
China,
some way.
he invites me to his offices.
Yes.
And just for me, it's always been organic, right?
Right.
And that's why I had no presentation. I had no slideshow like these other folks. And I thought, I'm just going to, slide out of the room quickly. There was a line. I'm still amazed. I say this in awe, not to brag. There was a line out the door waiting to get my card to learn more about how to do this organically, because that's what works.
This is a very interesting path you have chosen, and I think a lot of realtors would like to be on the path and have no idea how to begin. So suggesting that they go to school first, get your SIPS degree, go get that education to start, it will help you. It might not do the whole job, but it will help.
It won't do the whole job, but it will certainly open the right doors for you, so you'll know where to go for more information, and join your local global councils and committees. Though that's huge. I'm currently chairing one. I'm just about to step off. I was involved when Illinois still had a committee. I'm sad that we don't have one. We do have a forum, so there are events. Oh, I go to MIPIM every year too, thanks in part to Illinois Realtors. Right. So MIPIM is all things real estate. It's the World Showcase of Real Estate. It's held in March in Cannes, France, where they hold the International Film Festival at the Palais de Festival. That's all the French I can give you. But it's amazing. It's not cheap. You better come prepared, be focused. First time out there, I'm going to tell you now, it'll be like a deer in headlights unless you partner up with someone. And Illinois started doing in the very beginning. That's what we did, which was very helpful. It's a $6,500 spend at least. So go with purpose. Plan to meet with the different governments, with the sovereign wealth, with the developers. This last time out, I was able to do 5 presentations on a new product line. Specifically, it was on the housing, the manufactured housing called not mobile.
It'll come. Let's talk about something else, and then it'll come.
Right. Yeah. The houses that they build in a factory and just bring out to you. Yeah.
It's not manufactured home.
It's modular construction. There we go.
Yes.
Which is huge, and that's a good solve for affordable housing, or I like to call it workforce housing, all around the world. So I was presenting to Ukraine on this possibility, because as soon as they're able to clear the rubble, they need housing quick. And this is a quick way to get up to speed. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were also 2 minutes late today because you were
I'm
on.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Because you were on a meeting. Talk about the meeting that you were on this morning.
So I was on the Chicago Global Business Network, which is phenomenal, and NASBAR has a huge role in that.
Yes, NICAR
group.
is a partner with us. Yes.
Yeah, and which is wonderful. So this was all the Asian countries. We had Cambodia, Thailand, and Vietnam specifically. We had speakers, and this is a great group. You just join it. It doesn't cost anything to join the CGBN and attend virtually their
What were they
webinars.
talking about? The speakers from those countries. What were they talking about?
Right, they were talking about the process of buying real estate in those countries, and also the current temperature of real estate in those countries. I'm trying to think who was the middle speaker that was talking about. They, of course, are having difficulty with their office space. They have a lot of vacancies. It might have been, well, I don't want to misspeak, but a lot of their issues mirror our issues. However, because they're going under these mass revitalization using lands that were maybe prior agricultural use now to build and create this housing stock that at a rate that they weren't able to do so before, because there's so much foreign money coming in, and a lot of it's coming from the U.S. And a lot of it is moving money from countries where there might be difficulty doing business between U.S. and that particular Asian country, that by moving into one of those three, and it's very affordable, the workforce, the fees, right?
Yes.
In comparison, which is amazing. By the way, in these countries, they have, and I've been fortunate to go to Cambodia, I've been to Thailand, I've been to several other Asian countries, China, as I mentioned. They literally have 5- and 6-star hotels, 5- and 6-star class hotels. Amazing. And the prices are so nominal.
Well, then maybe we have to vacation there. We have to go take a look at that.
I had a butler.
Oh.
I couldn't.
I love that.
I was buttled.
That's a
I
great
couldn't
idea.
believe
You had a butler.
I couldn't believe we had a butler. I go, what's this button for? They go, oh, that's for the butler. I'm like, okay.
What does the butler do?
Well, they brought me cookies and tea.
There you go. They did that. They took
pressed
care
my
of you.
clothing. Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to leave.
It's like a perfect
And it
mom.
was so inexpensive. It was amazing. I had brought a project that at that time was really trying hard to a high-end project down in Chicago. We brought that project along with JLL to Cambodia, and we were presenting to high net worth investors. So that was a really cool experience. But these are doors I never thought would have been opened for me, and a lot of it I have to give credit to CIPS, NAR, Global Mindset, and of course FIAPSI has been huge for me. I would not leave that organization.
Tell me again.
Sure, FIAPSI, so it's FIABCI, FIAPSI, and it is the World Federation of Real Estate, and we're headquartered in Paris, France.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, and then you'd have to go there.
Yeah, I'm
That'd be
sorry,
terrible.
you'll have to go. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you go in a minute, but I do have the last opportunity for you.
Okay.
60 Minutes last week had these 3 young guys on there, and they were building houses. They were printing houses.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw them.
3D printing, yeah.
3D printing houses, and they were really, actually, some of them were quite beautiful.
Yeah.
But their goal is to be the first people to put housing on the moon.
Right.
That would seriously be global. So that's
There
what
we
I think
go.
we should be doing, is thinking about how do I get involved. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do you one better. So FIAPSI, we are at such a high level, and I'm sure that will be one of our presentations
Yes.
very soon. We actually have so it's architects, it's planners, developers, it's attorneys, the whole realm, anything involving real estate. One of our famed architects actually lives underwater the majority of the year. He built his home underwater. Isn't that incredible?
That's an interesting thing for someone to do. I don't know if I would like that.
I don't know
I'd have
either.
to think about that. Anyway, Marsha, thank you so much for coming. You've
thank
given
you for
people
this honor.
such a good idea of things that they can do and places they can go if they're interested in information like that. How would
Yeah.
they contact you, Marsha?
Yeah, reach out to me so you can reach me through, I should be in the member directory
Somewhere
here.
here.
Somewhere
How
here. Also, you can reach me kind of an easy email, marsha@myglobalpartner.com. My website, I have all kinds of different social media opportunities. So Marsha Collins Realtor. just Google me, you'll find me. But
Perfect.
please do reach out. I'm happy to help because I didn't have anybody to ask these questions to, and thank God there's a forgiving public out there. So
Thank you.
Thank you again.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just a note, the views of our guests may not reflect the views of the North Shore-Barrington Association of Realtors.